Here's the reality, ladies. Your preferences are holding you up. Hi, my name is Lauren, and you may know me from my channel, The Grace Coach. If you don't, here we talk to women about daily Bible readings and also just Christianity in general and learning to grow in God. So this is something that I see a lot going on in social media and in society in general. And as we can see, a lot of people are not getting married. Okay. And it's not like there's literally no more love in the world and then, the ability to fall in love has been taken out of us. No, it's standards and ridiculous standards, right? And we've heard the song about the finance guy on TikTok, and we've also heard about the 6-pack, 6 feet, 6-figure guy. No. Okay, so we got what the world wants, and then what God wants. What God wants you to be looking for is a man of character, and what the world wants you to look for is looks. So, we all love King David, right? But then we're going to act like we don't know what to do when it comes to a man of God and choosing him. Well, let's see. You go in 1 Samuel and you see how he was chosen as king. He wasn't even picked to be there to be chosen. His whole brothers, all of them, 11 of them, were stand before the prophet Samuel. They stood there. He was not invited. And so Samuel didn't know that he even existed at that point because the father just showed whoever he wanted to. And then so Samuel was like, hey, this first brother right here, the oldest, he has to be the one. He's handsome, he's strong, he's this, he's that. And do you know what God told him? Next. He didn't want to hear it. He said, man looks at the outer appearance. I'm looking at the heart. Why? Well, in this particular case, the previous king ended up being so full of himself and disobeyed God. And God did not want another guy that was just so into himself and he didn't want to listen to God. So he's really not into looks. What is this showing right there alone? God is looking for a good leader, not a good looking man. Okay? So, yeah. So we also, just a side note, shouldn't be going to churches for a good looking pastor. We should be going for somebody that knows how to preach the word. Okay? So anyway, moving on. David wasn't even there during the picking, and Samuel was wondering what in the world's going on because I know I was told to go to this particular house and there had to be a king here. So why is all 11 of them guys saying no? And then so Jesse had to admit, which is the father, okay, there is one more, but he doesn't really count. He's not all that. We could paraphrase. Okay, there was a rift in the family. He's just some shepherd boy. Leave him alone and pick one of these guys. They look good enough. So that's how you're going to pick your king based on his looks, right? So God really, used Samuel to say, no, I'm not going forward with this. Bring the other guy out. And so they had to go get David. And I bet you David couldn't even finish getting down there. And Samuel was like, anoint him. So they anointed him to be king at a very young age. He was the youngest of his brothers. And, his brothers weren't happy because, like, why him? And I think a lot of us are like that with the Lord. Like, wait a minute, God. Why him? He is not matching up with this little scenario I played in my head. I want him to have 6 figures. I want him to be in finance. I want him to have insert the color of eyes you're interested in. He has to have straight hair, wavy hair, curly hair. Very specific preferences. And, he has to be on fire for God and know how to preach a house down. Okay. The more we add on, the more unrealistic it gets, because just like we don't want them judging us harshly as women, we don't want to be judging them harshly. They're humans, not gods, okay? So what the world does, though, is it tries to turn these preferences into kind of building up a custom God, if you want to say. And so we just add in different filters each time. And the more filters we put on something, notice, the less options. So I think that's why the dating field isn't going too good right now. Let me know. But I think that's pretty much why. People are way too picky. I didn't say don't be picky. I said you're way too picky. And a lot of the preferences that we have as women of God are worldly. They're not of the Lord. when it comes to looking for a mate, read Ephesians 5, read Proverbs. These give us good examples of what to look for in a man of God. I'm going to leave it here because I can go all day, but I can't actually. But the reality is, God wants to answer your prayer. He wants you married. He probably been wanting you married. But he also probably been set many away that you said no to. So it really is all about obedience and willing to do God's will. Will you be open to God's blessing? Because it might come in a way that you don't expect. And that's when the test really comes. God's will over yours. I'll see you next time.